Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Opinion Machine, the show where we talk about all things gaming. My name is Killjoy, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Deep Rock Galactic Season 2 narrated trailer. The reason I wanted to do this a bit more nearer the time, because this has been out, what, a week, maybe 2 weeks now at this point, is so obviously we're coming up to it. It's next week, I think, this Season 2 drops. But I have seen it, but I wanted to go over a few things and point out, like, the things I like about what they're adding to this and what they're doing with it and all that good stuff. So, without further ado, let's get cracking.
Hello, miners, and welcome back for another DRG update. Season 2, Rival Escalation.
So first of all, Rival Escalation. The idea, I think, with this is ramping everything up.
As the title implies, our rivals are still going strong in their efforts to disrupt our mining operations.
I love the artwork
and in
for
fact,
this.
they're escalating their efforts. But what does that mean for you, the loyal employees of Deep Rock Galactic? To set us off, a new warning is now active. Rival presence. Hordes of rival robots are clustering in the caves, seemingly just waiting to spring on anything carrying the DRG insignia.
Now, that's a really cool way of mixing things up a bit. Now, I don't know whether this means that suddenly there's going to be significantly less glyphids, which are like the spider enemies and all those enemies, and whether this is just on top of that. Because I feel like if they're going to be spawning a ton of the robots, they might want to scale back the glyphids. There might be a case where they don't, and this is just significantly difficult. But it's a really cool mode because the robots got introduced in season 1. It was kind of cool that you got these little guys, the shredders. They're kind of annoying to deal with, but they're not too bad. And just swarms of these. That sounds kind of fun. There's one other. There's like the bigger dudes that you can hack. And whether they'll bring back the turret stuff, I don't know. But I am assuming that maybe even when the swarm normally comes for you, it might be a case that you get attacked by robots instead. But yeah, I like what I'm seeing so far. I think this is a really cool addition.
Some will likely see this as a welcome distraction from the usual teeth and claws of the glyphids, but management still doesn't recommend underestimating these cyber.
Just in this screen alone, you can see that's 3 of those bigger robots. I'm assuming we're going to be getting a lot more of those in game, just a lot more than usual. Because normally when they do turn up, there's only like 2 or 3 of them max. So maybe we'll get more of them.
Abominations.
Well, there is a glyphid there.
Secondly, our rivals are setting up new communications equipment, which must be shut down. In the all-new Rival Signal season event, you must interrupt the operation of the rival communications router, hack its antenna nodes before the timer runs out, and shut it down before the entire thing explodes. Timing and precision will be of the essence if you want to obtain the data cell stored inside the router.
Cool. I assume they're getting rid of the season 1 one, which was essentially you would find these like hacking. Like, I don't know what they were. It was like something that was almost like pump whacking the ground, like it looked like a giant speaker, and you would hack it with the hacking bot and blow it up and open it up like a vault, like a mini vault, I guess, similar to this. And you'd call on the hacking bot, open that up, and they were kind of fun. They would spawn in the robots. This seems to be replacing that. There's a brand new mini game there, which is cool. Where it looks like you have to I wasn't really paying attention there. It was like connecting the wires or disconnecting the wires, so that's pretty fun. And these look like it's just a different spin on that, so you've still got to do it within the time limit to get the essentially the core that's inside, which was part of being a season. Like you could get them for like season rewards for script, I believe. I think they gave script. I think they also give extra XP, so you would level up the pass quicker. If you picked up one of those on a mission, you'd gain like an extra 1,000 XP or something.
Lastly,
this thing is fucking awesome.
Scancom has been picking up new readings in the caves, and disturbing rumors have started trickling in from the surface. Our rivals have unleashed something down there, something specifically designed to lure you in, hunt you down, and terminate you with extreme prejudice. Beware, miners. The rival Nemesis is on the prowl.
Now, I loved the little teaser they did of this because it was super creepy, and I'm assuming that was related to this thing. This is going to be awesome. I assume this is going to be another one of those ones when you kill it, you get its core. Kind of like how in season 1 you had like the flying boat. When you shot it, it would freak out, run away, and robots would come along. This, I'm guessing, is much more aggressive, and it looks like it can pick you up and launch you across the map quite easily. It seems to have phase bombs, which are really annoying. Has that weird. It basically seems to have the abilities of the. I've forgotten what it's called. The caretaker, basically. There's like you fight that massive thing in the center. This seems to have all of those attacks, and it seems to have got the guns that fire more like claws now. But this is the thing I am really interested in going up against.
To counter the new challenges ahead of us, management has approved the next performance pass,
Script.
and several things have been tweaked and expanded on compared to Season 1. By popular request, we have roughly doubled the amount of...
This is great. So this means that now those season events, you can see those are what you'll get more. You get more script from that, I assume, than you would when you got it on the tree. So the tree at the bottom... Sorry, let me explain that better. The tracker at the bottom that goes from 0 to 100 or 0 to 99, I'm assuming there'll be less script on there, and more of that will be resources, cosmetics, and this new money or new mineral that they've got in the game. And so most of your script will come from doing these season events, so it'll be kind of part of that, basically.
Event bonuses to collect by completing season events down in the caves. Also...
Complete arrival presence warning. So there you go. You can get a season challenge from there.
We've added a brand new season challenge to the pool, paying out fat stacks of performance points and precious script.
So that says to me that you're going to get a lot more script from the season events and also those season challenges. So a lot of that tracker will probably will still have script on it, but it'll be less script heavy, especially towards the end of it, and much more focused on the cosmetics and resources.
All of that, of course, results in rewards, both for simply gaining levels in the performance pass, as well as spending...
Well, let's have a look at this tree, because I haven't had a look at this yet. So this time, you have to start at the top. I quite like the fact that it was left to right. Now we've got top to bottom. There seems like there's a lot of stuff here. That's cool. And in fact, it actually seems like there's a lot more... Ooh, what's this one? Armor. I have a feeling this might be where the mouse is currently. I think that meant to be a square, but it's like an armor paint job there. So it's meant to look like this, but this could be like a beta version, so it's not completely finished. But looking at like you've got a helmet here. So basically the way when I did through the first season, I basically ignored all the gun skins that are on the edge here. I ignored all that completely, and I went straight for like all the helmet and cosmetics. I don't even know what this is. A new victory pose, which is cool. So I'll be spending most of my time getting this like sent a lot here, most likely, and then going down here and dealing with this. But this tree actually looks like there could potentially be more on it. I could be wrong. It just looks bigger, but already I'm liking what this tree is doing. I like the fact that the gun paint jobs are all on the outside, so I can kind of just ignore the gun paint jobs and come down and get all the stuff in the middle first, because this is going to include paint jobs from the new guns that are in this as well, which we'll get onto. But yeah, looking great.
Script in the Cosmetic Tree. We got some good stuff for you. Resource caches, beards, paint jobs, helmets, and yet another full set of weapon framework for all guns.
Oh, lovely.
So consider yourself warned. Season 1 is coming to an end soon. Spend those script if you got them, or they will be lost. And if you haven't managed to get through Season 1 completely, have no fear. Any cosmetics you've yet to unlock will simply be moved into lost packs, cargo crates, matrix cores, and perhaps even the shop located on the space rig.
So this is hugely important, right? Something that, like, we'll get for another example. Rocket League also does this, I believe, and it puts those things into random loot boxes. Now, technically, the backpacks and the kind of the cargo crates are kind of random, as well as, I guess, the cores, but it doesn't feel like as much of a grind to get those in here. So for example, I finished getting everything in the backpacks. I got all of Season 1, so none of this will be added, but the fact that they're splitting it up so this stuff isn't being taken out of the game and it's being added to the shop and all this other stuff as well, that's really cool. And that should be good, because if you hadn't finished, you had a few items left, eventually you're going to get through most of the content and catch up with it, and it also gives a reason to go after those backpacks if you have finished collecting all the items from it, and then you didn't finish Season 1. Now you've got a reason to get them. But yeah, I like what they're doing here. The fact that they're going in the shop, the backpacks, the cores, they're splitting it up wisely. I imagine all the beards will go into cores, all the gun paint jobs will probably go into backpacks and into the crates. So I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad they're not just taking it away. This is great. I hope they continue to do this with however many seasons they choose to do. So awesome.
Nothing goes away, and everything can still be obtained.
There you go. Nothing goes away and everything can still be attained. It's what we like to hear.
All that aside, management is not sending you in to handle these new threats empty-handed. To complement the 4 new primary weapons introduced in Season 1, Season 2 brings with it 4 new secondary weapons.
So this is, I think, the big major content for a lot of people is having these secondary weapons. And I gotta say, they're all pretty fun. I'll give my thoughts on them as we go along.
The Scout has picked up the Nishanka Bolt Shark X8.
Such a great name, the Shunker Bolt Shark. This is the weapon I'm most interested in.
An extremely versatile crossbow designed for large game, built especially to fire a wide selection of customized bolts. Acid bolts, electric bolts, fire bolts, triple bolts, you name it. It's time to go hunting.
So the crossbow, I'm very curious as to how the bolts work. I want to know how the ammo changes. I assume it will be part of the gear modifications, and that will be how you change them. But you might be able to change them on the fly, in which case that's a lot of versatility. I assume then I guessing it doesn't have a lot of ammo, but I'm hoping there's some cool things you can do with the bolts. Maybe you can stick them into the wall and jump on them or something with the standard ones. But yeah, very excited for that. And then we've got the shard diffractor.
The engineer has come up with a shard diffractor. To keep it from detonating like 1,000 pounds of TNT, the thing is limited to short controlled bursts. But don't let that depress you. It's powered by a 12-pound chunk of armor and heartstone and is able to vomit forth beams of raw energy as thick as your leg, reducing anything in its path to a mound of cinders.
This weapon, I want to know if you can cut minerals with, because that would be kind of useful. I also expect it to be pretty ridiculous against bosses. If it's really that powerful, if it's a short burst like fire and charge. I mean, it'll definitely be good for getting rid of light enemies. It looks like if you had like a bunch of those glyphids, you can zip through most of them pretty quickly, which is cool. But yeah, I wanna see what else I can do with this. I feel like I'm gonna be able to cut down minerals and potentially cut open some of the land with it.
The gunner gets the Arms Core Coil Gun, a hand-carryable, fully-fledged electromagnetic accelerator. It fires solid tungsten spheres with enough force to punch clean through solid rock. The only limit to this pocket-sized war crime is the battery pack, which is sizable.
I like that, the pocket-sized war crime. This is probably the other weapon I'm really interested in because you can shoot through walls, and especially if you're playing in co-op, you can tag an enemy from miles away. And I don't know what the range of it is, whether it just goes straight across the map, but at least then the gunner can just be like, yeah, you tag it, boom, and fire, essentially. And that sounds like fun, and it seems to take away a chunk of the rocks and things, so I've got a feeling this thing's going to be limited on ammo, but I think it's going to be hilarious, and it's going to be really fun to be able to, like, get almost to safety and, like, shoot some enemies through the walls with it, like... Very, very curious about how this one plays and what the range of it is, how much damage it's going to do, and how effective it is if somebody tags an enemy with it.
And finally, the driller has been given the Colette Wave Cooker. An ingenious mix of lab equipment and kitchen utensil, the Wave Cooker does exactly what its name implies. Point it at something organic and watch it cook from the inside out until it bursts in a gout of viscous fluids. Recipe book not included.
So the wave cooker is probably the one I'm least excited about, but I need to use it because I want to see like just how much damage does it do, how long does it last, how effective is it at range, you know, how good is it? Is a contagious transmitter. I've actually paused it on one of the upgrades. Like I really need to see more of this gun and see how, because I imagine it'll be fun. Like I don't doubt all these weapons look fun. But the crossbow and the ion cannon, crossbow and the railgun are the ones I'm most interested in. The other two just look very silly and very fun. So I'm kind of hoping this is just as ridiculous as some of the other weapons. And credit to Ghost Ship, they have made some ridiculous weapons. A lot of the mods and stuff are hilarious. But all in all, I'm looking forward to using all the weapons. Just probably the crossbow, probably the most.
As always, these new weapons come with full upgrade trees, weapon frameworks, and paint jobs to find. And around 24 brand new weapon overclocks to uncover.
24? That's nuts. That's so many weapons. I know a lot of that's like balance clean and then, you know, whatever the other one is. I can't remember. There's another one, the unstable, I think it is. But that's cool. Like, that's so many clocks to find and like tweak. I really appreciate this stuff. It gives you a reason to keep getting them, and you can mod the guns as much as you want in the ways that you want to play with them.
Meanwhile, things are changing over in the shop. From now on, you can choose to pay for cosmetics with Phasionite instead of credits, in case you're saving up for specific upgrades. Phasionite can be found in the caves of Hoxie's as you go, and you will also earn it from the newly implemented Cosmetic Mastery system in the shop.
So Phasionite, I'm not entirely sure how this, like, how common is this going to be and how much you're going to get, because I think that's going to be hugely important. I like the fact that they're adding this in. So like he's saying, like, if you're newer to the game, you have a reason to buy cosmetics, because right now your resources, if you use them, you want to use them for upgrades or for cores and stuff, you have to use them for that, and then you have to use them for the cosmetic stuff in the shop. So I do like this. I just hope that they're not too stingy, and with everything else to get that they've done, it probably won't be. But yeah, I'm curious to see how much you get with these.
How does that work? Simple. Increase your cosmetic mastery by buying stuff. And not to worry, shoppers, the system will work retroactively.
That is hugely important. The fact that they've just said, don't worry, it'll work retroactively, amazing. Because that means everything that I've bought, everything that anyone else has bought, that level is going to be stupidly high for me, and I'll be able to buy a ton of things with this Phasionite already off the bat. Great, perfect. That means when I go back into the game when this Season 2 drops, I'm going to be able to get a bunch of cosmetics I haven't bought. So it's going to be great. So I really appreciate that. That's like a really nice quality of life that these guys have done.
Everything you already bought will be counted towards your cosmetic mastery progression. For those dwarves returning unsuccessfully from missions, we have finally received a shipment of medical gowns.
I love that they've added this. I don't... the Medibay is probably the most pointless thing in the game right now. This is just... I love it.
For the sake of overall morale and sanity, we urge all employees to keep their underwear on when waking up in one of these. And lastly, a new addition to the Forge. Previously, Forge Mastery granted completely random infused matrix cores. Now you'll be given a choice. 2 character classes are picked at random. You pick which of them gets the core. Some choice is better than no choice, as they say.
This is a minor thing, but I really appreciate this. This means that if you're looking to, like, get stuff specifically for one class or the other, you've got a better chance of getting that now from, you know, choices. Yes, you're still going to get a chance where maybe you want something for the gunner and then, like, the scout and the engineer come up, but that's still better than nothing, and I really appreciate what they're doing for this.
As always, a new update also means a new pack of DLC, and this time we're presenting the Robot Rebellion pack. Face our oppressors in the ragged remains of past glory, crudely coupled together during those long nights spent on the space rig waiting for the next engagement.
The DLC packs are a really nice way for people to actually support this game, because you got to think, so far Season 1 and Season 2 is completely free. They have released DLC packs that have, you know, give these skins for the characters, and that's really cool. And what it means is that for people that have bought the game back when it, you know, for its a price, they can continue to support the game. And these guys, I honestly don't know how. I know they've got a massive player base. I don't know how they keep supporting, you know, the development of this game, because most games like this would have far more paid free would have far more DLC like payments, whereas a lot of everything's one and done with these guys. There's not a huge amount of the DLC stuff, so like if you buy it all, yeah, it probably comes to like 50 quid if you buy all the packs or something. I think they're about 10 quid each. But considering there's no other way to support the guys apart from buying the game straight out, it's nice. Like, I don't feel obliged to buy them, but what I do feel is that this season 1 and now Season 2 and everything that I'm seeing, the fact that I'm getting so much free stuff, sure, I'll chuck like, but I think they're between £5 and £10. I can't remember the exact price of them, but I'll chuck that down, because why not? They've just extended the life of this game that I enjoy, and all of it's free, and it's all done in a way that I actually appreciate. It's not like super stingy. It's not like super slow either. It's a nice pace of, like, you can basically level up like after usually 2.5 missions.
Management wishes you all safe, happy, and lucrative missions and cooperation, miners. And welcome to Season 2, Rival Escalation. This is Mission Control, signing off. rock and stone.
Overall, I'm very very impressed with what they're doing here. Like, I feel like Ghost Ship, they get how seasons should be done. They're not taking away content. They're not making it. They're giving you choice with the where you want to spend your script. Like, there's a ton of script, fairly easy to get as well by doing certain types of missions, certain types of season awards. Just like it's nice to see a company this size that could probably do with having a lot more DLC, really, that could be paid for. Honestly, I think just because they've done such a good job of giving the players now 2 seasons worth of content for free, essentially. And I know that there is talk about doing a season 3 as well in the future, and then maybe they'll stop after that. But like, you've got to, I can sit here and say, you know what, this might be some of the best season pass I've ever seen. Like, just because I get to jump into the game, download, you know, the patch, the update for this. I've got a ton of new things to do on top of all the old stuff that I still haven't unlocked yet, and it gives me a good reason to go back and play it. And I'm like, you know what, like, I love it. I love seeing that this is, to me, this is the right way you do it. You keep your fan base like super happy with just a big chunky free update, and then you add in a couple of DLC packs. And it's just the one here, but they could add in more later on, and people will buy it because they're like, you know what, you guys have done well. And yeah, my hat goes off to them. They've done a really good job. This looks really fun. Can't wait for this to come out. I can't remember when they said it was. I know it's a little Easter egg for you guys. They're all wearing their pants. Oh my god, that hair is amazing. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content, then subscribe down below. Links for Facebook and Twitter will be in the description down below. And until next video, I will see you then.